Idi, just a minute.
Yeah. Good evening. Namaste to each one of you gathered today. For today's is the second day of the celebration of the 8th anniversary of Yoga Bharati's inception. So topic for today is Pranayama and Japa meditation. Hope all of you are ready to do this program. Let's sit in a comfortable posture. As all things begin with something auspicious, let us begin with the prayer. Sitting in a comfortable posture, eyes gently closed. Bring your awareness to the entire body, from your toes till the crown of your head. Shift your awareness to the tip of your nostrils. Observe the cool air that is going inside your nostrils as you breathe in. The warm air exiting your nostrils as you breathe out. Continue to feel the breath as it moves in the nasal passage when you breathe in and when you breathe out. Gently bring your palms in a Namaskara Mudra in front of your chest. Let us begin with the chanting of Omkara for 3 rounds each time you exhale. Breathe in. Om. Offering salutations to Sage Patanjali. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Offering my salutations to the higher divinity, my Guru. Welcome. Today's topic is pranayama. So how many of you, I don't know about the pranayama and what it means? Let me share some slides and let's go about the topic today. For today, before we begin today's pranayama, let me tell you that pranayama is one of the 8 limbs of the Ashtanga Yoga as given by Maharshi Patanjali. The others are Yama, Niyama, Asana. The fourth limb is Pranayama, Pratyahara. And then we move to the Antaranga Yoga, that is the Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. So what is Pranayama? In the Prashnopanishad, Pranayama is defined as the basic entity from which the whole universe is made. Let me chant this beautiful shloka from the Prashnopanishad for all of you. It says, Pranasyedam vashe sarvam tridive yat pratishtitam mateva putran rakshasva shrischa prajnancha videhina iti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It says everything in this universe is governed by the principle of prana. Just like a mother takes care of her child, oh prana, please take care of me, give me wealth and knowledge. This is what is the prayer that you offer. This is said in the Prashnopanishad. So that, let's move on. What Patanjali, Sage Patanjali says, Tasmin sati shvasa prashvasayor gati vichchedaha pranayamaha. According to Patanjali, pranayama is the slowing down of the speed of inhalation and exhalation. Let us say, what is prana? Prana, we said, is the life force. And ayama is expansion or extension. Or you could say yama as a rule. So prana, life force, is that the pranayama in itself is that you can expand the life force or expansion of life force. Or you could simply call it as tools for conscious breathing or techniques of conscious breathing. So where is this prana, manifesting? Where do you see the prana? I said it's seen all over the world. The whole universe is made of prana. So it is there within us too. What is it? It is the life force which manifests in the pranamaya kosha. Breath is an expression of life and the force behind it. The very first thing we do when we come into existence in this world as a child or as a baby is what? Breathe. And the very last thing that we do also is breath, breathing our last. So breath is of that importance. Breath is the closest link that we have to prana. When we say prana in the pranamaya kosha, we have the existence in yoga is described through the 5 koshas, the annamaya kosha or the gross physical body that we have. We have the pranamaya kosha, which is the energy body where the prana generally exists. And we have the manomaya kosha or the emotional body where the thoughts, emotions, feelings are seen or expressed. Then we have the vijnanamaya kosha, which is the intellectual or the wisdom body. We have the Anandamaya Kosha or the true self, the self of bliss, or the place where which we call our true inner core or that self. So today let us observe, let us see how this prana in the Pranamaya Kosha can lead us to that true inner self. Okay, let me explain a little bit how prana. Prana is that fabric which helps you to do all your activities in the Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha is the physical body. You have a hand, but to lift that hand, you need that energy. To do all your activities, you need the energy. That is called prana. And the prana, moving from the grosser layer of the Annamaya Kosha to the subtler, it becomes subtler in the Manomaya Kosha or the mind, where it governs your thoughts, your emotions. It's closely linked to all the activities of the mind. So let us move on to see what the pranayama actually does. Pranayama helps. The principles and objectives of pranayama is to slow down the breath. It's for you to develop an inner awareness. How? When you breathe slowly. Okay, let's just become aware of, are we even aware of the breath that we are taking whole day? No? Not many of us are. We don't consciously breathe. We are not aware of the breath that we are taking. So when you become, at the beginning of today's session, I asked you to just become aware of your breath. And when you became aware of your breath, the first thing that you would have noticed is it has slowed down. The minute it slows down, you will also observe that you become more aware and conscious of your breath and conscious of, what's happening within you. So it creates an inner awareness. It also removes any imbalances of prana. Prana, as we know, we will get to that part of imbalance in the prana in the next few slides. It helps you gain control over the mind. How does it help you gain control over the mind? Have you ever observed that, when you're very angry, when you're very agitated, your breathing is very irregular, haphazard, you're breathing faster, slower. So, when you learn to do techniques of pranayama where you consciously slow down your breath, you're able to access your mind and therefore control your mind. Generally, it is very difficult to directly control the mind. Mind, is what is called the monkey mind. So to control the monkey mind, or to even, I wouldn't say control, to master the monkey mind, to control your emotions, pranayama is a very useful tool. It also helps you manage your emotions, I said. It helps you to bring in relaxation and to improve concentration. This is what I meant, that there is a beautiful connection of the mind with the prana. So what is the connection? When you're very angry, when you're very fearful, how is your breathing? Sometimes we forget to breathe. We hold our breath in. We hold our body still and tight. That is when the prana is getting blocked in your body because of the emotions. There is an irregularity in the breathing, and that also with worries, negative emotion, affects the flow of prana in the body. Prana in the body is flowing continuously. It's an energy which flows, which, like how you would say, in an electric wire, you won't see the current passing. But when you see the bulb glow, you know that the presence of the electricity. Similarly, the prana flowing in our body through different channels is there, governing all our physiological activities, governing all our mental activities. And this is the connection of prana, which is the bridge, the breath, which acts as a bridge between your body and your mind, is what we can access with doing the pranayama practices. Breath is very closely linked to the prana. Prana, when we say prana, I only don't mean just breath. Prana is not just breath. It is the life force. Yes, breath is the closest link to the prana that we can have. There are different types of prana in our body. That which we call the Agni, that is the Jataragni, or the digestive fire, is also a type of prana. That prana which is useful in excretion is also a type of prana, is one of the pranas, the Apana prana. Then you also have that prana which helps you in thinking, in all the sensory activities or activities which move the physiological activities like sneezing, like vomiting, like belching. This is the Udana prana which moves upwards. The Apana prana moves downwards. So these are the different prana. And we have the Vyana prana which moves all over the body, which is circulating throughout the body. You could call it, grossly, it could refer to as the nerve impulses that are moving in our body. So that we have the different types of prana. The closest link is the breath. So through this breath, can we directly, access the digestive fire in the body? No. So you use your breath. You use your breath to calm down the internal. Why do I say that we use the breath? We will come to know, because there's a very close link with the breathing, with the nervous system in our body. Let's move on to check why I'm saying this. Before we move to this, let me stop sharing and let me talk a little bit about how the prana affects our body and the mind. Are we even aware? Let us do the first basic exercise of breath awareness today. Okay? Just keep your eyes closed. Keep your right hand on your abdomen. Keeping your right hand on your abdomen, let's just observe the breathing. Place your right palm on your abdomen and just observe. Keep your eyes closed. Observe the movement of the abdominal wall. Have any of you noticed how the abdominal wall moves with the breath? Is your abdominal wall moving inward when you inhale, or is it moving outward when you inhale? This is a very important factor to note. Breath awareness. Okay? Moving of your abdomen wall outwards as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, your abdomen wall moving inward is the best yogic breathing that we can follow. And it is good, very good for our system because it increases. It's called the diaphragmatic breathing. Or diaphragm is the thick muscle sheath between your lungs and your abdomen cavity. When you breathe with the abdomen moving outwards, the diaphragm depresses, increasing your lung capacity. Total lung volume increases. So this, when you do this, you also will observe. Have you observed babies breathing? Have you ever observed the babies breathing? How do they breathe? They breathe with their abdomen, you know. The constant movement of the abdomen is seen. So why is this? The baby is, that's the natural method of breathing. That's a natural way of breathing that we need to do. But we've forgotten that we are not using the full lung capacity, breathing properly. We are in our hurried lifestyle, full of stress. We are using only part of our lungs to breathe. So let us today, with this awareness, I want you to focus more on how we are going to move ahead with the breathing practices of pranayama. So I said pranayama is the practice of conscious breathing. So let us now move on. Who can do the pranayama practices? What are the precautions that need to be taken when you're doing your pranayama practice? So when you're doing your pranayama practice, remember you either sit on a mat or on a chair. And if you're sitting on a chair, you place your feet down, but don't place them on the ground. Keep a stool or keep a cushion or a mat below your feet so that you're resting. The first and foremost important thing that you remember is the spine, head and neck needs to be aligned, upright. This is the posture in which you sit for pranayama. You could sit in any of the meditative postures, either Sukhasana, the sitting this way, Padmasana, Vajrasana, or the meditative posture, Ardha Padmasana, Purna Padmasana, Siddhasana, Siddha Yoni Asana, any of these asanas you could adopt to do the pranayama practices. Generally, pranayama is done after the asanas. After the practice of asanas, then we move on to do the pranayama. So let me move on to give you a little more details about the slides. Here we have the precautions that you need to sit upright on a mat. Generally, be on an empty stomach, or at least stomach where you've had lighter food, or at least 2.5 hours to 3 hours after your meal is the best time to do your pranayama. Early in the morning, early or at the time of dusk, Surya Asta, Surya Udaya. These are the times, the Brahmi Muhurta. When you do, you can harness the energy very well. It is very, very beneficial. Remember, you do pranayama to your individual capacity. Do not force yourself to inhale more than your capacity or to exhale more than your capacity. You could bring in more harm than benefit if you use force. Remember, be very, very gentle with your breath. In case of any health issue, take prior medical advice to do some of the practices. Today, the practices that we will be doing are those which can be generally done by everyone. I will still explain what are the contraindications and the benefits of doing these pranayamas. There are different types of pranayama, but of them, I have chosen a few which all of us can do and all of us can benefit with this pranayama practice. So we move on. Let me explain about the different sectional breathing is one of the practices where we use the different sections of our lungs. Just now I showed you the lower portion, the abdominal, then you have the thorax, and then you have the clavicle. Then we go in for the full yogic breathing, following which we also will go on to have, we move on to the next pranayama practice of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Then we have the Shitali Pranayama. Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama is one pranayama which is a very balancing pranayama. It generally balances the energy or the prana shakti in both our nadis and the Ida and the Pingala nadis. Nadis are channels through which the energy flows. Then we move on to the Shitali Pranayama, one of the pranayamas coming up. Therefore, because of the summer coming up, this is one of the cooling pranayamas, and I would like to teach you this cooling pranayama, and who can do it, who need not do it, I will explain as we go ahead. And we have the Brahmari Pranayama. So let me first now move on to do the sectional breathing is what I explained. As I have told you, the sectional breathing has 3 sections: the abdominal section, thoracic section, and the clavicular breathing. Abdominal breathing in Sanskrit, I have not used the Sanskrit terms here because it may be difficult for some of you. It is still called the Adhama Shvasa. The thoracic breathing is called the Madhyama Shvasa, and the clavicular breathing, or the breathing of the upper part, using your upper part for breathing, is called the Adhya Shvasa. Or complete breathing is called full thoracic breathing, is called full yogic breathing, is what we are going to be doing when we include all the 3, that the abdominal, thoracic, and clavicular breathing. So this breathing helps to increase your lung capacity. It brings in a lot of benefits in terms of health. Those with those with nasal allergies, those with problems of wheezing, those with problems of difficulty in breathing, COPD, or difficulty in breathing due to different lung ailments, can definitely do this practice. On a general, everyone can practice abdominal, thoracic, and clavicular breathing. In case you've had a recent abdominal surgery, please take care. Otherwise, this practice will benefit the largest section of people. So this is the abdominal, thoracic, and clavicular breathing. Can we start the practice? We will start with doing the abdominal, thoracic, and clavicular breathing. Bring your awareness to the abdominal area. Before we begin, I would like to tell you that there are certain mudras that we use with the practice of pranayama. These mudras are nothing but energy locks, or they help to enhance the energy when we are doing the pranayama. So for the abdominal breathing, or the abdominal section breathing, we use chin mudra, where the tip of your index finger touches the tip of your thumb, and you place them on your thigh, palms facing upwards. This way, you place them on your thigh. And as you breathe in, allow the abdominal wall to bulge outwards. As you breathe out, draw the abdominal wall inwards. This is called the abdominal breathing. We move on to do the abdominal breathing. We'll do this for 3 rounds at the abdomen. As hands in chin mudra. As you breathe in, allow the abdominal wall to move outwards. As you breathe out, gently draw the abdominal wall within. Eyes closed. Keep your awareness on the movement of the abdomen and on the breath. Try and slow down the breath as you breathe consciously with the abdominal wall. End of 3 rounds, gently open your eyes. We will now move on to focus on the thoracic region, or the region of the chest, the middle lobes of your lungs. With the abdominal breathing that you did, the lower lobes of the lungs expand. With the thoracic breathing, the middle lobes of the lungs are expanding or being worked upon. For this practice, we will change the mudra from chin mudra to chinmaya mudra. Chinmaya mudra is the thumb and index finger are still touching each other. You curl the other 3 fingers into your palms. Place your palms on your thighs. And now bring your awareness to the chest region. As you breathe in, feel the expansion in the chest wall, rib cage moving outwards, upwards. As you breathe out, The chest wall comes back to neutral posture. Do this to your own capacity, slowly. Slowing down your breath. Gently open your eyes. We will now move to the third section, the clavicular section, the Uttvaswasa. For this, we use the Adi Mudra. You close your thumbs inside and fold the thumb inside and fold the forefingers over your thumbs. Place your palms, this mudra, near the lower portion of your abdomen. As you breathe in, keep the palms this way, keep the palms this way. We're doing the clavicular breathing now. And then when we move for full yogic breathing, the mudra, you place the mudra here. Keeping it here, we now do the clavicular breathing. As you breathe in, gently use the muscles of your neck and shoulders to lift slightly upwards. As you breathe out, lower the shoulders to their normal. Inhale. Exhale. Lower the shoulders. Gently continue to do it at your own pace for another 2 rounds as you breathe in. Breathing out, lower the shoulders. Last round, inhale, lift the shoulders. Keep your awareness in the top portions of your lungs and clavicles. As you exhale, lower the shoulders. Open your eyes. Were you able to perceive the movement of your clavicles or the collarbones or the neck muscles moving and the shoulders moving up slowly as you breathe in? This helps. This is the least portion of your lungs. The apices of your lungs are which are generally not exercised at all. So doing this practice helps you to increase the flow of oxygen into the top of your lungs, the tips of your lungs. So now let's do the Purna Shwasa, or the complete yogic breathing. So again, the Adi Mudra that you were holding, you place them here. This is the Brahma Mudra. And now we will do, as you inhale, we are doing all 3 together. So as you inhale, the abdomen moves outwards, the chest expands, and the shoulders rise. As you're exhaling, the abdomen moves inwards, chest relaxes, and the shoulders come down. Let me demonstrate once again. Breathing in, abdomen moving outwards, chest expands, shoulders rise. Breathing out, abdomen moves in, chest comes back to neutral postures, shoulders come down, you relax. One more round, breathing in. Breathing out, relax. Gently release the mudra. Observe your breath. Remember, at no point in time do you hold your breath within you. Just the smooth flow of breath. Inhale and exhale. Very smoothly, steadily. Do you remember? Slow and steady wins the race. I'm sure all of you have heard of that story of the hare and the tortoise. Who won in the end was the tortoise because of his slow and steady nature. So that is how your breath needs to be, to win over your mind, to enhance your energy. So this was the yogic breathing that we have done full yogic breathing. This, if you can do every day, will help you improve your lung capacity, to help you energize yourself, because the oxygen that you draw in is going to increase to, it is going to reach each and every cell of your body. It is going to energize your whole body, all the cells, nourish you and rejuvenate you. This was the first of the pranayama that we have done today. Let us move on to do the second pranayama, that is the Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Before we do the Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, I would like to explain a little bit about the Nadis and what Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama actually means. So when I say Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, it means to balance the energy. Nadis are channels through which the energy flows. As I said, nadis are channels. There are innumerable. It is said in the yogic texts that there are some 72,000 nadis in our body. If you anatomically dissect the body, if you do a dissection, you probably cannot see these nadis. But these are channels through which the energy flows in our body, within our body. So the basic channels, these are called nadi. Nadi, actually, the word meaning means flow. So this is what the nadis do. It helps the energy flow. So the principal nadis, three nadis that we are concerned about with during our pranayama practice today is the Ida nadi, which is connected to the left side, left nostril, the Pingala nadi, which is connected to the right nostril, and the Sushumna. Sushumna is the centralized channel which flows along the spine, through which the energy moves from the lowermost portion of your base upwards. The Ida nadi is also called the moon's energy. Ida nadi is also that channel through which the moon's energy flows through. That what we say is the activation of relaxing activity within the body. It is connected very closely with the parasympathetic nervous system, the Ida nadi. Energy flowing in the Ida nadi. The Pingala nadi, or the sun's energy, containing the sun's energy, it helps to activate, energizes. It brings in a little bit of warmth in your body. That is also connected with the sympathetic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is very important for the functioning of all our internal organs. So we know that how we could slightly regulate the autonomic nervous system using this technique of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. We generally know that there are a lot of stress issues that we have, and because of the stress issues which we are going through, we end up with disease, with ailments, dis-ease. When I say it is discomfort, let me say, put it this way. Also, the health ailments also are ensuing because of the imbalances in the prana that we have. So let me now explain what I said about the nadis, the Ida and the Pingala nadi. When you do the Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, this is the balancing pranayama, and it balances the energy in both these nadis. Balancing the energy in both these nadis, it helps to facilitate the flow of energy or prana shakti in the entire body in a smooth manner. It also helps to allow the energy to start flowing through the Sushumna nadi, which is very important for anybody's spiritual upliftment, bringing in the concept of emotional wellness and spiritual upliftment. The Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama is one of those important pranayama practices which will help you in moving towards this spiritual upliftment. So how do we do this Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama? We use the Nasika Mudra for this Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. The Nasika Mudra being, you fold the index finger and the middle finger into your palm. You use the thumb and the ring and little finger to access your right and left nostrils. Let me demonstrate and let me tell you how it is done, and then we will do one of the practice. Let us do the practice together. Okay. Initially, you breathe out completely. Close the right nostril with your thumb. Inhale from the left nostril to your capacity. Close the left nostril with the ring finger. Release the right nostril and breathe out from the right side. Once again, inhaling from the right nostril again. Close the right nostril. Breathe out from the left side. So you inhale. First of all, you start by exhaling from the left nostril, closing the right nostril. Then you inhale from the left side, close the left nostril, exhale from the right side. Breathe in again from the right side, close the right nostril, exhale from the left side. This completes one round of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Can we all do this practice? Let us do this practice for about 6 rounds. Okay, let us start. With the other hand, you could adopt Chin Mudra. Close your right nostril, breathe out completely from the left side. Breathe in from the left nostril, close the left nostril, breathe out from the right. Breathe in from the right, close the right nostril, breathe out from the left. Remember to breathe slowly to the best of your capacity. Don't strain yourself. Don't hold the breath at any point in time. Become aware of your breath moving in and out of each nostril. Consciously slow down your breath. This is one of the pranayama practices which is very beneficial for everyone. It helps in reducing stress. It relaxes your mind. It helps to lower blood pressure. It brings about homeostasis in the immune functions. It improves the immune functions. It helps to bring about a hormonal balance too within you. You end the practice by breathing out from the left nostril. Release the mudra. Keep your eyes closed and just observe your breath. Observe your mind. See how your mind is feeling. Has the breath slowed down? Are you feeling a little calmer, more relaxed? Let's move on now to the next pranayama that I wanted to share with you, called the Shitali Pranayama. There is a set of cooling pranayamas, as we call them, Shitali, Shitkari, and Sadanta. Here today, I will be explaining the Shitali Pranayama, where you use your tongue. This is the only pranayama where you are using your mouth to breathe in. All the other times, you're always using only your nostrils to breathe in and breathe out. This is the only pranayama where you roll your tongue like the beak of a crow. And you draw the breath in through the mouth, through your tongue, feeling the coolness going deep inside your throat, deep into your lungs. And as you breathe out, you draw the breath in, you close your mouth, and you breathe out through the nostrils. But do remember, the contraindications before we do the practice is those who have cold, those who have cough, those who are going through this practice should avoid this practice. Yes, during the pandemic of COVID, this definitely was not one of the practices that is prescribed. But because of the summer coming up, when you feel too much of heat within your body, you could do this practice of Shitali Pranayama. It is also one of the very good pranayamas to reduce acidity, hyperacidity, to calm your mind. It also relaxes the mind and relaxes your facial features too. Try this practice and see how your facial features relax. Can we do this practice? Let me show you how this practice is done, but we are going to do this for a minimum of only or maximum of only 3 rounds. Okay, so that it doesn't cause any problems to anyone. Roll your tongue out, eyes closed, hands in chin mudra, resting on your thighs. You can keep your eyes closed to perceive the coolness. Here, you're moving to a deeper inner awareness of the flow of the breath, the touch, the temperature, the feel of the breath. Going in for the second round. The last round. Keep your eyes closed. Savor the moment of breath, the touch, the coolness, the calmness that you feel. Let's move on to the last pranayama, the Brahmari pranayama. This Brahmari means the bee, a honey bee. So here we are using the sound of a female honey bee, which says, have you ever heard the sound of have you taken time to just listen to the bee when it moves around the flowers to collect the nectar? Zzz, that's how it does, right? So we're going to imitate that sound. And how does it bring in, what is this pranayama? Why is it called Brahmari? Is because we are making that sound of a humming bee. We use a mudra called the Shanmukhi mudra, this is one of the practices. The mudra helps to aid you to withdraw from your senses, the eyes, the ears, from moving outwards. You close your ears by putting your thumbs inside or closing the pin of the ears. Place your hands such that you close your eyes. You place the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the little finger. This is the mudra that you will use. Alternately, if you cannot do this mudra, you could also just close the outer thing of your ears and place all your fingers on your head. This is also a variation of the mudra that you can use to do the Brahmari pranayama. Brahmari pranayama, when you're doing the Brahmari pranayama, before we even do the Brahmari pranayama, let me ask you to pronounce the word sing, king, sing. Have you observed how the tongue moves upwards and what is this ing sound that is produced? Have you observed that? So that is the sound that we are going to be producing when we are doing this Brahmari pranayama. It's a low-pitched sound, low-pitched humming sound that we are going to be producing. And when you're doing that, you could use the tip of your tongue to press against the upper roof of your mouth, or also called the palate of the mouth. Okay, can we start with this practice? You breathe in through the nostrils. As you're breathing out, you use the tongue to move against the upper palate, and you produce this humming bee sound. Breathe in through the nostrils. Release the mudra. Keep your eyes closed and perceive the vibrations that you can feel in the head region. This is one of the relaxing pranayamas. It helps to relieve stress. It helps to reduce anxiety. It helps to reduce insomnia. This is one of the practices that you can do just before going to bed too, to help you sleep much better. So this point in time, I would like to stop sharing. And are there any questions that anybody wants to ask? Any more details before we move on to the next part of our practice of japa today? Okay, let us go on to moving further. I hope all of you have enjoyed the session of pranayama. So we now move on to japa meditation. So what is japa? I have already explained this link of the mind with the breath or prana. We know now that the mind can be calmed down by using pranayama. Another technique that we can use to calm down or slow down the mind is to fix the mind on a particular object, or to fix the mind by using this technique of japa. So japa uses the technique. Japa uses a mantra. Japa is repetition of a particular sound syllable. Japa yoga helps extraction of conscious energy contained in the sound of specific syllables or phonemes of the Vedic mantra. So japa uses mantra. So what is a mantra? Mantras are sound syllables. Man and yantra. It is a tool to calm down the mind. It is a tool which protects the mind. Or it is also mananath trayateti mantra, that which helps you reduce your fear, that which helps you reduce your anxiety, that which protects you, okay, is called a mantra. The mantra is a sound syllable which can have meaning, which need not have any meaning too. There are different sound syllables which either have meaning or some of them don't have meaning. So when you are repeating the mantra or when you're doing a japa, it helps to repeat. So in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra concept, there are two principles of yoga. One is abhyasa, repetition, and vairagya or detachment. This is what Patanjali Yoga Sutra explains about how yoga practices, how we should do the yoga practices, and what is the effect of doing the yoga practices, of becoming detached. What are we becoming detached from here? When you do your abhyasa, repetition of the mantra in the form of a japa, will help you bring about one pointedness of your mind. By repeating the mantra, you become one pointed somewhere. Listening to the same sound gives you that focus on within you. It helps to improve your focus. It helps to improve your concentration. It also helps to reduce, it creates a habit. It helps to create a positive mental track, positive track in your mind. Mantra japa produces positive mental tracks, and it helps us to gradually overcome our negative traits. It is a powerful technique of focusing the mind and to harness the body's mental and subtle energies. Mantras have a transformative power. Listening to the mantra, a chant, gives a helpful biofeedback to your mind because you become mindful. When we say pranayama, we also said being mindful of your breathing. So now japa is one of the practices which help you become mindful of your mind. When I say mind, I mean thoughts, emotions. You're becoming mindful of your mind wandering to this and that area, the distractions. You're reducing the distractions, and somewhere when it becomes one pointed, it slowly leads to dhyana, or that silence, to be focused and anchored within yourself. This is what the mantra or chanting of a mantra helps you. Let us, japa, you can do japa using a mala, a japa mala, like this. This is one of the japa malas. You could use one of the japa malas to do the mantra, because this beat and your mind, there is a connection. When you're moving, you know that the mind is focusing. If your mind is moving away, you bring it back to the rolling of your beads. And the rolling of your beads is a constant reminder to your mind, focus on your mantra. Move within, don't go outside. This is what the mantra and the mala are companions. There is a companionship between your mantra and the japa mala, and the mantra and your mind. So today, let us move through this journey of japa to meditation by chanting Sri Ram. Today it can be the simple mantra of Omkara, the Pranava mantra, or any mantra that you choose that you would like to chant, you could chant. But I would today be chanting the Rama mantra, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. This is what we will do. We will do it for 21 rounds. Sit in a comfortable posture, eyes gently closed. Bring your awareness to your breath. A mantra can be chanted aloud, that is called ahata chanting. It can be chanted within the mind. This is called the anahata. Anahata is that which is not heard, sound which is not heard, which is there playing within your heart, within your mind, within yourself. That is the anahata chanting. We will start with the ahata. I will lead you to the anahata, and then we will end the session today. Okay, sitting in the eyes closed. Take a few deep breaths. Normal, sahaja breathing, sahaja shwasa, sahaja pranayama, where you just consciously observe your breath, the inhalations and the exhalations. We will start by chanting the Omkara. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Continue to chant this mantra in your mind for a few more rounds. As you chant mentally, feel yourself moving to the deeper and deeper realms of calmness, silence. As your mind touches this bed of silence, linger in this place, linger in the silence. Feel the connection to your inner being. Enjoy the bliss of silence, of calmness. Allow it to percolate into each and every pore of your body, each and every cell reverberating with joy, with bliss. Gently bring your mind back towards your breathing. Observe your breath now. Slow, deep breathing. Becoming aware of your breath. Become aware of your body. Palms joined in Namaskar Mudra. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Express your gratitude to the universal energy. And gently blink your eyes open, looking into your palms. Thank you for being with me through this Japa meditation and the pranayama practice today. I hope all of you have enjoyed. Do you have any questions? Please.
Hi, Shubha. Let me just ask the question right away.
Yes.
Okay. What are the number of counts of each pranayama?
You start slowly. If you're a beginner, you start with minimum of 5 rounds to 6 rounds. And then slowly over the period of time, you could increase the practice to the number of counts.
Do we bring out our abdomen while doing thoracic breathing?
No, generally if you're doing only the thoracic breathing, you don't bring out your abdomen. You're concentrating on the thorax, on the middle lobes of your lungs. So you're not going to move the abdomen.
How to avoid thoughts during japa?
Yes, initially you are going to have thoughts, and that is why you chant aloud. So when you're chanting aloud, it's a reminder for you, okay, that you connect with the chanting. Bring the mind to gently focus, like how you hold the little child, and see that it doesn't run away when you take your child to a playground. So that way, hold your mind very gently in a very friendly manner. Allow it to bring it to focus on the mantra that you are chanting. Befriend your mind.
Thank you, Shubha. There are no more questions as of now. So anything, people have all written that they had a wonderful experience and thanks for the wonderful session and well explained and a lot of appreciation for the session, but no more questions. So if you
Okay. Okay. Anyway, with this is just what pranayama and japa meditation is just a glimpse into what are the practices or how the courses are conducted at Yoga Bharati. So I would use this opportunity to invite all of you to join our sessions and get maximum benefit for yourself. And it's not only for yourself. Remember, when you are anchored in yoga, your whole surrounding changes, your family, the society. It is being in harmony not only with yourself, with your family, and then from there it spreads to the society and to the whole universe. Please do this. My sincere request to each one of you to practice some of the yogic principles that are there. Okay, since there are no more questions, let me close for today's session. Let us chant the mantra for the well-being of the entire universe. It's not just self-centered. We are, anchored with the universe, in this universe. So let us pray for the benefit of everyone with the Sarve Bhavantu prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayaः. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all be able to perceive the higher reality. May there be peace. This is the meaning of the chant from the Vedas. Thank you, namaste, and stay tuned. We are coming up with a few more programs the whole of this week. See you until tomorrow evening. Thank you.